2 men have been arrested for trading in counterfeit dollars. The 2 suspects, Kenneth Anarfi, aged 51, and Philip Charkson, aged 37, were wanted by the police after a complaint on September 24, 2021. According to the police, they had gone to a shop at Tuba, a suburb of Accra, and purchased electrical cables and other items valued at 16,550 Ghana cedis and paid the same in its dollar equivalent of $2,600. Also, a search conducted in their place of abode led to the retrieval of items including deep freezers, air conditioners, TV sets, 39 gallons of engine oil, bags of rice, tomato paste, electrical cables, 2 laptops, boxes of nails, gas cylinders, fake US dollar notes, new headpans, frozen fish and chicken, and other products in large quantities suspected to be proceeds of their fraudulent engagements. The police have also urged members of the public, quote, especially persons who have fallen victim to such crime, to help identify the suspect and volunteer useful information to reveal the remaining aspects of fraudulent operations perpetrated by the suspects. President Akufo-Addo has charged metropolitan, municipal, and district chief executives, MMDCEs, to work to deepen transparency and promote popular participation, as well as accountability at the local level. He said they should also respect the sector ministers and the various regional ministers, as the ministers were his representatives, playing supervisory role over MMDCEs. The president also warned that he would not hesitate in firing any MMDCE who exhibited ineffectiveness and inefficiency and got involved in needless conflicts that dented the image of the government. President Akufo-Addo said the charge was the hallmark for successful leadership and the attainment of results. He said it was a good time to be MMDCEs because they presided over the local economy and were to transform it to create jobs for the people. The Speaker of Ghana's Parliament, Albin Kingsford S. Bagbin, has served notice to parliamentarians that he will not tolerate any attempt to delay the passage of the anti-LGBTQ+ bill, which is before the House. According to him, the committee sitting on the bill will be made public, likewise voting based on common sense. He assured that Ghanaian values will inform the passage of the anti-gay bill and constitutionally guaranteed rights will be respected. In early August, a bill was introduced in Parliament to restrict the rights of LGBTQ+ people. It includes criminalizing the defense of LGBTQ+ rights, a duty to report, quote, suspects, the promotion of conversion therapy, and the imposition of prison sentences for homosexuality. If the bill is passed by Parliament, President Akufo-Addo could either sign it into law or veto it. The international community and rights activists have widely condemned the bill, which was submitted to Parliament by 7 opposition MPs and 1 member of the presidential party. The Ministry of Employment and Labor Relations is set to take legal actions against businesses failing to enroll their employees onto various pension schemes. According to the sector minister, Ignatius Bafo-Ewua, many employees after their working life retire with no pension benefits because their employers refuse to pay either Tier 1 or 2 obligations. He is encouraging employees to seek redress by reporting incidents of no pension payment by employers. Out of 34 million Ghanaians, only 2 million are enrolled onto various pension schemes. In the formal sector, some employers refuse to pay the Tier 1 and Tier 2 pension premium. Minister of Employment and Labor Relations Ignatius Bafo Awa said legal actions will be taken against recalcitrant employers. The National Pension Regulatory Authority, NPRA, has observed an increase in old age poverty among informal sector workers. The authority is educating informal sector workers to contribute to the voluntary Tier 3 group or personal pension scheme to secure their pensions. The Minister of Finance, Mr. Ken Oforiatta, will present the budget statement and economic policy of the government for the 2022 financial year to Parliament on November 17, 2021. The Minister of Parliamentary Affairs, Mr. OCT Mensah Bonsu, made this known in Parliament on Tuesday, October 26th. The Ministry of Finance had earlier announced November 15th as the presentation date, but announcing the new date, Mr. Che Mensah Bonsu advised members of Parliament to scrutinize the budget before approving it. He said they were expected to approve the budget by December 17th, which means they have very little time to scrutinize it. Quote, "We are not going to be able to spend 8 weeks interrogating the budget. We only have about 4 weeks, and that is why I will entreat the committees to act in conjunction with their sector ministers very proactively to deal with the allocations as early as possible," the Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs said. The Institute of Economic Affairs has charged government to take bold and innovative measures to mobilize resources and allocate them judiciously to support long-term sustainable growth. This, it believes, is capable of delivering sufficiently high living standards to Ghanaians and moving the country out of poverty within a generation. In its expectations of the 2022 budget and economic planning, the IAE said, quote, "Ghana has a serious challenge with domestic resource mobilization. Year after year, domestic revenue falls short of budget targets. Meanwhile, the revenue targets themselves are also not sufficiently ambitious, vis-a-vis the country's needs." Furthermore, it points out that, quote, "We must admit that COVID-19 had adversely affected revenue generation. However, even before COVID-19, our revenue performance was very much similar to that of 2021. When we compare our revenue performance with that of our middle-income peers, MIPs, we see that we significantly fall short." Australia has confirmed it will lift a ban next week that has prevented its own citizens traveling overseas without permission. Australians have spent 19 months under some of the world's strictest border rules in an effort to keep cut COVID. From 1st November, people will no longer need an exemption to leave the country, provided they are fully vaccinated. Only Australians are eligible, but some rules for foreigners will be relaxed soon, the government said. Quote, before the end of the year, we anticipate welcoming fully vaccinated skilled workers and international students, Home Affairs Minister Karen Andrews said in a statement. Prime Minister Scott Morrison had foreshadowed the reopening of Australia's border, saying it was, quote, time to give Australians their lives back. Reports from Nigeria's Niger state say at least 18 people were killed on Monday after gunmen on motorbikes attacked a mosque in Mazakuka community. Many other worshippers were injured. Villagers said a large group of attackers stormed the mosque and opened fire as the victims were holding early morning prayers. Local police said one of the attackers were killed by the security forces. The incident is just the latest in Niger State, which has witnessed a rise in violence. On May 30th, armed bandits abducted 136 students at an Islamic school in Tajina town. In February, hundreds of school children were abducted in the state. The authorities in Uganda say suicide bombers were behind an explosion on a bus in the capital Kampala on Monday. Quote, the attacker died in the explosion, police spokesperson Fred Enanga said on Tuesday. He added that the attacker was on a wanted list and was a member of the Islamist militant group Allied Democratic Forces, ADF, which operates from neighboring Democratic Republic of Congo. Several passengers were injured on Monday's blast. On Saturday, another blast in a restaurant in Kampala killed one person and injured 3 others. The police said Saturday's blast was caused by an explosive device containing nails and pieces of metal covered by a plastic bag. Mr. Enanga said investigators had established a high connectivity between the two attacks. Quote, there are individuals or groups of individuals preparing these IED, improved explosive devices, who belong to the same group of attackers, Mr. Enanga said. Ghana's Black Queens have dissolved camp following their elimination from the qualifiers for the 2022 Africa Women's Cup of Nations last Sunday. Consequently, all players have left the camp base and returned home, with the 3 foreign-based players all expected to return to their bases. Coach Mercy Tego-Kwaku said there was no need to keep the players in camp as there was no immediate assignment. Quote, we could not advance in the qualifiers as we had hoped to, and with that assignment over, there's no need to keep the players in camp, so we have dissolved the camp until such a time when there will be the need for the Queens to reassemble, she explained. Last Sunday, the Queens beat Nigeria 1-0 in the second leg of the 2022 ALCON first leg qualifier, but it was not enough to progress in the qualifiers, having lost 1-2 on aggregate. Disappointing as it is, Coach Tego-Kwaku believes the team she assembled for the campaign has a future and will be looking forward to working with them. The Ghana Football Association, GFA, has announced that the best referee for the 2021-22 Premier League season will take home a brand new car. This, according to the GFA, will encourage referees to put in their best performance in the upcoming league season, which kicks off on Friday, October 29, 2021. Quote, for the Ghana Premier League, the best referee for the year will take home a car at the end of the season. I'm very sure that our referees will be happy, President Simeon Okraku said at the league launch on Tuesday. The whole idea is to encourage our referees to be competitive and deliver top-notch performances over the course of the season, he added. About 90 referees and assistants have been selected by the referees committee for the upcoming campaign. Godfather of hip life, Reggie Rockstar, has given a detailed explanation on how addictive fame can be, adding that celebrities need respect to be sustainable in the public domain, not silly stunts and destructive hypes. In a sermon, Fame the Drug, Reggie Rockstar mentioned that the withdrawal symptoms of drug addicts are similar to someone craving for fame from a past time. He said these two people in both scenarios would do anything to get the high. According to the musical legend, fame can be very addictive and detrimental to celebrities who have not mastered the art of managing the euphoria that comes with popularity. He pointed out that in a bid to recreate the initial high from when they first became famous, most of them turned to alcohol, substance, and even depression when their efforts fail. Reggie Rockstar urged people to crave respect instead of fame. Songwriter Isaac Kwaku, known popularly as Travels, has advised Ghanaian musicians to use every resource available to them to aid in the production of quality music. According to him, employing diverse means when creating new works can help artists avoid song theft claims, among others, especially at a time when resources to produce quality music abounds. Mr. Kwaku said that not every artist can write songs, make beats, record songs, or even play any instrument. Quote, our people must understand that not everyone can do everything, so it's not a bad thing to employ the services of someone who can help you do a successful job. It baffles me that our past legends believed in some of these principles than the young people of today. The songwriter added that, quote, I cannot tell if it is shyness or ego, but having a writer or ghostwriter, as it's called, is not a big deal. Mr. Kwaku stated that the news of song theft in Ghana is gradually becoming normal, adding that that is not a good sign for the industry.